Hello everyone, welcome back to Fight Tonight channel. Shakur Stevenson retained the title with a win over Artyom in a fight that showcased his skills and also perhaps highlighted why Top Rank is not fighting too hard to prevent his free agency. Shakur Stevenson defended his WBC title via a technically proficient by ultimately underwhelming performance against Artyom, winning a unanimous decision but rarely threatening to finish the contest early Saturday at the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey. Artyom has a natural fighter style, and Stevenson seemed to take a couple of rounds to figure him out, as Artyom don't see him, waved and twitched, circling around Stevenson. Yuriorkis Stevenson began to find his range in the third and the fourth, and in the fifth started cranking up the pressure, landing a two-punch combination to the head before switching downstairs. Artyom was in theory doing many of the things he needed to do. He didn't stand still in front of Stevenson, didn't make himself an easy target for the American's lightning-fast punches. He circled Stevenson constantly fire out punches to keep his opponent equipped, tried to make himself as elusive as he could, but Stevenson's defensive acumen and the precision punching are otherworldly, and once he was locked in, he worked his way through the gears and turning up the pressure, picking Artyom apart with strength punches to the head and hurting him badly with a body shot in the sixth. The physical contrast was fascinating. Artyom, wide-eyed, all nervous moment, never still for a second. Stevenson supremely relaxed, a study in the economy of motion, wasting no energy and making every punch count, while Oshakio Foster, robbed in the so many event, was presumably punished by the judges for constantly retreating and punching on the counter. Stevenson stood in the pocket, forcing Artyom to stay on the move as the local man controlled the center of the ring. By round 8, Stevenson was walking his opponent down, moving him backward. Artyom was by now happy to circle at more of a distance, Stevenson's body punches having apparently sapped his desire to engage too forcefully, and the couple bore body punches in the ninth had the German moving away with greater urgency. To his credit, Artyom then made the decision that the best defense was a stepped-up offense, and he tried to open up to keep Stevenson off him as the ninth round closed. He continued his relative offensive output in the 10th, and although Stevenson was completely unconcerned and in no danger of losing, Artyom's activity was helping keep Stevenson's offense at bay and highlighted the fact that while Stevenson is a singular talent, he sometimes lacks the ability or willingness to find a way fully to break down his opposition, even when in clear control. While Stevenson continued to look for opportunities to land meaningful blows down the stretch, he did not display the application or guile to force those openings to appear and ultimately seemed content to play out the string. The result was a formality, Stevenson winning a unanimous decision by scores of 119-109, 118-110, and a too close 116-112. Stevenson won the fight and retained his title. Whether he won any new fans or increased the likelihood of scoring the defining fight he earns for is a different matter. It's kind of hard to prove you are that guy when you don't have a fighter who is trying to fight back. Stevenson complained afterward before conceding that "I've got to cut off the ring a little bit more. I love boxing," he said, "but if they don't want to fight me, I will stay in the gym and keep busy," Shakur said. WBC lightweight champion Shakur Stevenson is hoping for a big offer from a prominent promoter like Eddie Hearn's Matchroom, but if he does not make an impression, he won't get it. Shakur may find it challenging to prevail and look good against Artyom. as he won't be outlasted if someone is standing in front of him. At the weigh-in on Friday, Shakur made it clear that he would be aiming after Arutunian's midsection, which is where Frank Martin had the most success during their July 2023 match last year. In addition, Stevenson believes that a unification match versus WBA lightweight champ Gervonta Davis is winnable and will propel him into a pay-per-view phenomenon. The 27-year-old Shakur might prevail in that bout, but only if he uses the same hit-and-run strategy as he did against Edwin de los Santos. That's the fight, Gervonta Davis vs Shakur, that we all want, but you got to focus on the guy in front of me. It's not about winning. Yeah, we all assume he is going to win this fight, Chris Algieri said, media reports. Gervonta Davis makes massive U-turn on Ryan Garcia rematch. Ryan Garcia continues to make headlines for all the wrong reasons. Following his shock win over Devin Haney, it was revealed the 25-year-old had tested positive for banned substance. Now his social media activity has become increasingly erratic. That culminated this week in a series of wildly remarks. "We don't want the rematch, never. Nope, I'll tell Gervonta never fight him." 3 possible opponents for Shakur Stevenson after defeated Artem Haratunian. The WBC lightweight world champion has options. Stevenson made easy work of Artem Haratunian on Saturday night, cruising towards a unanimous decision to retain his WBC lightweight world championship. In doing so, Shakur has options for his next fight. How soon they can come to fruition is an entirely different story. The first, Gervonta Davis, the 2 lightweight world title holders, have gone back and forth with verbal jabs. The only thing left is to decide a definitive ruler at 135 pounds via a super bout. Such a fight would pair Davis' adept boxing and one-punch knockout power against the savvy boxing brilliance of Stevenson, with the winner laying claim to being the best lightweight of this new generation. Shakur has a long way to go before he is ready to fight Gervonta Davis, because based on his performance, he does not rate the fight and has no chance of winning. Top Rank does not have to worry about fans booing Shakur anymore, because he is no longer their problem. His contract expired with his fight against Arutunian, and now he can sign someone else. They can worry about his lack of appeal with the end and the networks. Shakur insists that Gervonta Davis has no choice but to fight him. Shakur Stevenson is bitter about Gervonta Davis choosing to go in the direction of a unification fight against him. Stevenson attempts to make light of being passed over by Gervonta, saying that his time will come, but he might be kidding himself because that match might never happen. Shakur's struggle to generate excitement in his fights puts him in a tough position. Due to his amateur style, he can't prove himself worthy of a match against the superstar Gervonta Davis inside the ring. New Jersey native Shakur is just another fighter looking for a handout from Gervonta, and that's not appealing. Stevenson's relaxance and inability to evolve his fighting approach makes him a non-crowd pleaser. Instead of impressing inside the ring, Shakur has resigned to trying to talk his way into a fight with Gervonta. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel.